The Denver Nuggets should absolutely be the favorite to win the championship for next season after this incredible offseason that they have pulled off. Now, we all understand that the Denver Nuggets lost in the second round to the eventual champions in the Oklahoma City Thunder. It was a Herculean effort, to say the least, from Nikola Jokic. Jamal Murray was up and down. A lot of things went wrong for the Nuggets when they lost this game, and the fact that they took the Oklahoma City Thunder to 7 games was just insane. And that is because they have the best player on the planet. Nobody debates that. Nobody argues that. Jokic probably could have won another MVP this year, and in my opinion, should have won the MVP this year. We understand his greatness. The reason the Nuggets didn't win it all is because of the surrounding cast, and in specific, the bench. It was abysmal. They really struggled to get production on that end when Nikola Jokic would go off the floor. It was a historically bad unit. Denver fired their head coach, fired their GM, retooled the front office. They've retooled now the second unit. They've retooled a little bit of this starting lineup, and I believe this is a team that should be the favorite to win the championship for this upcoming season. I'm all in on the Denver Nuggets already, and I understand that the regular season just finished, but boy, oh boy, free agency has been an absolute 10 out of 10 for the Denver Nuggets. Let's recap. First of all, the Nuggets had no depth last season. It was Russell Westbrook, Jalen Pickett, Tyson, Najee, and DeAndre Jordan coming off the bench. That is a very bad bench if you look at it stacked up with a lot of the other contenders in the Western Conference. And the fact that they took the Oklahoma City Thunder, the eventual champs, to 7 games with that bench is honestly unbelievable. And then you look at the bench now. We'll go through some of the moves that they made. First of all, they traded Michael Porter Jr. This was the first domino that started everything. They traded Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson. This was a big time move. Very similar players. They put up like the exact same points per game, very similar assists, very similar shooting numbers, but I think Cam Johnson gives you an edge defensively. Those were the two biggest problems for the Nuggets. It was defense and it was bench production. And the defense was very up and down in that Thunder series. There would be so many possessions where everyone's just jogging back. There was reports throughout the season that Nikola Jokic would get very frustrated about the defensive effort that the Nuggets would give. That has to change, and I think Cam Johnson is a good piece that's going to help things change with this Michael Porter Jr. swap. Now, the next move that they made was signing former Denver Nugget in Bruce Brown. Now, he elected to leave the Nuggets. He bounced around a little bit, and 2 years later, he's back with the squad that he won a championship with. I think this is a big-time move for the Nuggets, with him coming off the bench now to really help. Christian Braun was kind of his replacement originally. Now you have Bruce Brown to come off the bench, and Christian Braun replaces him. This is really exciting for the Nuggets. That was the second big domino. The third big domino that I think was kind of an underrated move was them going out and getting Jonas Valanciunas. They had traded for him, didn't really have to give up much for him. Now you finally have kind of a reliable second big man off the bench for Nikola Jokic, because when he would go off the floor, there weren't a lot of great options for this Nuggets team. And a lot of the times, there was a few games in that Thunder series where Nikola Jokic had to play every single minute, and he would just be so gassed in the fourth quarter. So I think if you have a guy like Jonas Valanciunas, an experienced, grizzled veteran that isn't a phenomenal rebounder, he can play some defense, he is serviceable. You don't need anything insane. You don't need to go spend all this money. You just needed a serviceable big, and that is what Jonas Valanciunas gives you at the center position. They got it. They locked down that backup center position. That's big time for the Denver Nuggets. The final move that they made was signing Tim Hardaway Jr., a sharp shooting 3-point sniper that is really big for the Nuggets as well. They added 4 pieces now for the depth of this team that really helps. You switch out Michael Porter Jr., get a guy that's similar to him that can help defensively. You add Bruce Brown and Tim Hardaway Jr. that can come off your bench and can give you 3-point shooting, and you add Jonas Valanciunas, a guy that can give you depth at the big man position. I think Denver, schematically, how they want to play offense, they want to play through Jamal Murray, and they want to play through Nikola Jokic. They want to play through that 2-man high pick and roll. If that's not working, they'll play through Nikola Jokic. Let him be that orb. Let him play at the top of the key. Let him take the double like he did a lot in that Denver series. That's when you rely on those 3-point shooters. Well, if you have guys like Brown or Aaron Gordon or Michael Porter Jr. who are struggling to shoot the 3-point shot, even though Aaron Gordon was shooting the heck out of that thing in the postseason, if those guys are struggling, it makes the Denver Nuggets life's impossible. And that was what happened in a few of those games where Jokic is getting the entire attention of the Thunder defense and he has no other options because nobody could knock down a shot. Now you have Tim Hardaway Jr. that can hit 3-point shots. Now you have Bruce Brown who can hit 3-point shots. This bench is a lot better and it gives you more flexibility now. You're not so reluctant to go dig into that bench if somebody's struggling or if somebody needs to get some rest. So this has been a huge offseason for Denver. This has been an unbelievable offseason. I know none of these guys are necessarily like huge name players, but I think sometimes that gets overlooked. So often everybody's looking at the splash play moves. Okay, Kevin Durant's going to get moved. Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to get moved. Is Jaylen Brown going to get moved? Is Zion going to get moved? Well, when you have a team like the Denver Nuggets that already have a solid core of Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, if you can just add a few pieces here and there, this is a team that won a championship 2 years ago. This was a team that has the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic, who in my opinion should be on his 5th straight MVP in a row right now. That is the type of team that the Denver Nuggets have. They have championship pedigree. They've already gotten over the hump. They already know how to do this. And yes, in a tough Western Conference, I'm going to put my money on them. If anything, like Oklahoma City, they are the major favorite to win it all next year. Then right behind them, you have the Denver Nuggets. Then right behind them, you have the Houston Rockets. So you have some good teams. And now Oklahoma City just proved that they can get it done. Denver's already proved that they can get it done. Houston's going to be tough. San Antonio is going to be really good. The Dallas Mavericks are going to be a really solid squad. What are the Lakers? What are the Warriors going to be with those older expiring veterans in Curry and LeBron? What can those teams do? You still have Luka. A lot of teams in the Western Conference are going to be contending for that championship, and I believe the Denver Nuggets have put together the perfect team now to try and go get back over the hump. David Adelman is a phenomenal head coach, did a great job in that Clippers series, and I didn't even mention the Clippers. They've done a great job in free agency so far. James Harden took that pay cut. They get Brook Lopez. I think the Clippers, now with Kawhi healthy at the beginning of the season, they could be a top 4 seed in the West, in my opinion. So it's like this West is an absolute bloodbath, and the Denver Nuggets had to make moves, and I believe that they'd made enough moves, and they did enough to go win a championship now. And in my opinion, the Denver Nuggets should be the favorite to win the title next year. Nikola Jokic is easily the best player on the planet. We know that Jamal Murray can rise up in the postseason. This is going to be the team to beat in the Western Conference and in the entire NBA, in my opinion. I'm Caden Kubler, and thank you guys for watching.